Welcome into Sports Tonight. Bailey Burmaster joined alongside Lee Smith, and it is a Happy New Year's Day edition of Sports Tonight. We got a good show going for you. We're going to talk about Orange Bowl. Lee spent time there with Emily. We'll also hear what Kirby Smart and the gang had to say after the absolute beatdown of Florida State, 63-3. We're also going to talk about the dogs that are headed to the draft, announcing some predictable, some maybe not so predictable. We're going to talk about the Falcons. It's looking pretty bleak here as we entered the final week of the regular season and what the playoff hopes are like.
It's like the same it has all year. Yeah,
and then we'll obviously talk a little Hawks as well. But let's dive into it. We'll start with the Orange Bowl. How was the trip down to Miami?
It was good. It's actually a lot cloudier and a lot colder, overcast.
Okay. And it was rainy the first day, right?
The first day was definitely rainy, and it was not typical Florida weather. But that didn't matter to the Bulldogs. They took care of business. Goodness.
I think everyone knew it was going to be a blowout.
I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
3 points?
I mean, they're still a Division I team. I know they're losing. They lost a lot of their players, but still.
It was here's what I want to know. I think Georgia wanted to make a statement. I think Kirby wanted to make a statement. However, I also think that was just how the cards fell with everything that happened with the transfer portal.
Yeah. And, I mean, it looked like a game for about 2 drives, and then that was it.
What was the overall feeling from the players post-game? Were they even, as excited as they should be for a bowl game win?
I don't think so. No. Because I think it was Warren Brinson was live on Instagram during the fourth quarter.
You know Kirby was not happy about that.
Well, who cares? He's a senior. He's gone.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, what's he going to do to him now?
But, woof.
Yeah.
Your team's playing so bad that the other team can be on Instagram Live?
Last year, they were eating chicken wings against TCU.
That doesn't bother me as much.
I mean,
get some
not as
protein
much,
in.
but still,
Get
come
some
on
protein
now.
in. Get some
Come on
protein
now.
in.
You got your starting center over there in the fourth quarter just chilling, snacking on wings.
I'm curious. So going off of that, was Georgia Tech more amped for their win than Georgia?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Not even close.
Which, I get it, especially when you have a beatdown like that, but also it's like,
well, when you haven't
it's still the Orange Bowl, or supposed to be the Orange Bowl.
But when you haven't won since, 2018? A bowl since 2018? I mean, come on. I mean, Georgia did this exact same thing last year in a national championship, so I could see why they wouldn't be as jazzed up, you know.
Not great. Everyone did talk following the game, so let's hear from Kirby, his podium sound, because he did have some strong words about what the implications of this game shows and how he kind of hopes everyone takes notice.
So many of these players that were playing tonight, their last game, were also a part of 2 national championships. And I think our fan base realized that and gave them tremendous support. And last but not least, our senior class of people who care, who love Georgia and just wanted to play football again because they love football and they wanted to do it the right way. So I got a lot of thanks to give out to all those groups.
Okay, now we'll open it up for questions again for those that are just joining us. Please raise your hand. A microphone will be brought to you. And when you get the microphone and get acknowledged, please state your name, your affiliation, and to whom you are directing your question. Our first question is on the left.
Yeah, Brooks Austin, Dogs Daily. It's for Coach Smart and both players. Coach, what was your message to the players about why this game mattered? And guys, what did you take from that, you know?
Well, first, why did the game matter? Because we're playing a game. And as long as winning matters, we're going to compete like hell at Georgia, and it doesn't matter what it is. Number 2, we gave them about 5 things, and we looked at them each day before practice. And there were 5 notes on there, and one of them was the senior class turning 49 to 50. And these 2 guys right here were a big part of it. They're tremendous parts of our culture, and all games matter if you're playing a game. I'll turn it over to them.
Yeah, like Coach Smart said, to me, it really mattered to me, like you said, because it's a game. You want to take every game serious, no matter what the level is. You have to prepare the same way because at the end of the day, this is top-level college football, any given week. So we took that very personal. And also, man, just being able to go out there with the guys, this is a team that after this game, nobody, it's not going to be the same next year. People are going to go to the league, some the portal, some, might not play football. This team might not ever be the same. So I feel like you have to really take advantage of every opportunity. And I really felt that, being here for going on my 4th year, I've seen teams change. I've seen 13 to 18 people leave, and, the locker room is very different. So I feel like you have to really take advantage of every opportunity because, you don't get too many opportunities.
Yeah, I would say basically, I think the game mattered just because if you're a competitor, then every game matters. Every opportunity you get to go out there and play the sports you love, play in front of the people you love, play for the people you love, it's second to none. You can't take it for granted, the opportunity to come out here and play with guys like this, play with coaches like this. So just being able to come out there and just go out there with the guys one last time this season, it meant the world.
On the right side.
Mike Griffith, Dog Nation. Just to kind of follow that up a little bit closer, Kendall. Right after the SEC title game, you said in that hallway there was no way you were going to abandon your brothers. And I think I saw on another social media post, Kamari, that you and Bullard were talking about running it back one last time. What was it like behind the scenes getting the buy-in for there to not be any opt-outs when you look around bowl season and all these teams are missing players? What happened behind the scenes there?
To be honest, the rest of the team kind of took on that responsibility. The whole week, I would have, receivers, the offensive linemen, the defensive linemen, they coming up to us saying, we're going to send you out the right way. And that showed in practice. That showed how hard we all practiced. You would have thought it was a scrimmage the way we were practicing, you know what I mean? Everybody really took it to heart. And I'm just blessed to be with a group of guys like that. I've been fighting tears all week, before the game, fighting tears, after the game, fighting tears, because this team is a family. Some people just say it, but this team is a real brotherhood. It really shows day in and day out, and I couldn't ask for a greater team to be a part of.
Yeah, connection behind the scenes is nothing but connection, just being able to get up every day and be with a bunch of guys like this, guys that you laugh with, guys that you, cry with, guys that you sweat with, you're tired with. You get in a hot tub together. You just do basically everything with these guys. We even go to class together. So, there's not really much of a reason why you wouldn't want to play with these guys one more time whenever everything's on the line. It's another chance to go out with the guys you love, the guys that you've been with for, 4 to 5 years.
On the left side.
Hey guys, David Hale with ESPN. This can be for any of y'all who feel like answering it. But you just won an Orange Bowl against a 13-0 team by the largest margin in bowl history, which, by the way, you broke your previous record from the last bowl game you played in. Is there any doubt in your mind that if it would have been a 12-team playoff this year, or if you had snuck into the 4, that you guys would be the ones holding the trophy at the end?
To be honest, I don't. In any fight, in any war, I'm taking my guys against anybody. That's just the belief I have. I have that faith in my team that, everybody's going to go out and lay it all on the line. So, I take my guys over anybody.
Yeah, coming from me, I'm not really into speculation. But, anytime I get to go out there with those guys, I'm going to take my guys, 100 out of 100 times, just because of the things that I've seen these guys do, day in, day out.
In the rear.
2 questions. I'm Joey Lamar from WSAV. Question for Kendall and a question for Kamari. Kendall, first, you shared a moment with Coach Smart after the game. As the clock was ticking down, he gave you a hug. What did he say to you, and what did that mean to you? And for Kamari, you shared a moment with Kalen and Warren after the game. What did it mean for you to be, with those guys that you grew up with in Savannah?
To be with Coach Smart after the game, he just told me how proud he was of me. I feel like if anybody knows, Coach Smart knows what I've been through here at Georgia. This not in any way has been an easy journey. It hasn't been just a smooth journey. It's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of speed bumps along the way. But, Coach Smart, he told me how proud he was of me. I stuck it out. I, ended up making it to the end, and I achieved success. And I basically told him, thank you for believing in me. Because at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for. Your coach to believe in you, your teammates to believe in you. That was what I really said. Just thank you for believing in me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to go out here and, play the game.
Yeah, to answer your question, just to embrace, those guys after the game, it was kind of all surreal. Everything kind of came full circle. We were just 3 kids from Savannah, Georgia, and Kalen and I, we was on the same Little League team, Savannah Stars. So, just for us to be able to play against each other, basically on one of the biggest stages in all of college football, it's just a testament, for each one of our, all our hard work and stuff like that. So just being able to, have a moment where we're just, able to just take everything in and just see, everything around us, it definitely meant a lot.
In the front, on the left.
Yeah, Connor Riley, Dog Nation. This is for Kirby. You won the last game of last season by 58 points, and then you win this game by 60 points. Why does your team play its best football in the final game of the season?
Well, I don't know. I certainly think that we get better as the year goes. There's a culture on our place of work ethic that the job's not done. I think a lot of coaches relax at the end of the year, and they kind of just, they say, well, this game doesn't matter, or this game is not important, and there's nothing that's not going to be important at our place. There's not going to be a day that we walk out on that field that Kamari Laster's not walking through that it's not important, that Kendall Milton's not doing blitz pickup that is not important. And I think that standard has translated into, success. And I think that's a big part of the culture that's been created.
On the left, second row.
Kirby, you guys didn't score on the first drive of the game, but then every drive in the first half, and then Gunnar comes in and you guys keep it going. How important was it, at halftime to kind of send that message, and what did you think of how Gunnar played?
I was really pleased. He's a kid that didn't get a lot of reps during the year in terms of game reps. Brock got most of those. And I told the team at halftime, I said, look, guys, we're going to go out there and all the starters are going to play. It's going to be the one offense, and Gunner's going in. We want to let him play. Call the game and let him go execute and play because he deserves an opportunity to play. And the only way you get better at that position is to go play meaningful minutes and get time. And I thought it was big for him to go in. I thought Mike called a good game for him, and he made some really good decisions. And we think he can be a really good player. So I was very pleased with Gunner.
So, Coach Smart, you obviously recruit all these guys, and some of them probably know they're not going to get to play that much. So when you see a guy like Jackson Muschamp get the 14 yards and everybody goes crazy, and some of the other guys that got a chance to play and score today, how much does that mean to you? Is it rewarding to you to get to see that and just the way the sideline reacts?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole sideline went nuts because Jackson's been doing that. We had to run a lot of gun runs this year, quarterback runs, and we didn't really have a natural quarterback run guy. So Colin and Jackson had to run the ball all the time, and I tell Coach Muschamp all the time, he's a lot better athlete than Coach Muschamp ever was. But I got on the headphones, and it was 3rd and 5, and Coach Bobo called a sprint out. I was like, I don't want to punt again. I want to get this first down. And I said, Coach Muschamp, you might want to step up here because he's over there with the defense. I said, Jackson's going to sprint out, and we're going to throw a pass. And Coach Muschamp was like, oh, God. And he sprint out. They pulled it up. He stuck his foot in the ground and got a first down. He looked pretty dang good. He really looked good in that jersey number he had on, too. So he had that 16 on. But I was proud of those guys, and we had a lot of guys get an opportunity to play tonight. And that's the thing that nobody talks about these bowl games. I got to play in 3 or 4 bowl games, and that was the highlight of my college career. We didn't make it to a national championship. We didn't make it to an SEC championship. So the highlight of my career was getting to play in opportunities like that in bowl games, and got a lot of kids an opportunity to play today.
On the right side.
Will McBroom, WVFS Tallahassee. Coach Smart, obviously Brock Bowers wasn't able to play in this game, but he was on the sideline. I saw him talking to Oscar Delp. What impact did him being here have, both on the tight end room and just on this team as a whole?
Well, I don't know what impact he had today, but the impact he had over the last 30 days was tremendous. He came out of the SEC championship game really beat up, banged up, and did all kinds of work to get healed and get healthy. Mims the same way. They were at every single practice. They were at every single meeting. They were at everything they were supposed to be at, and we told them we were going to bring them down here later in the week, and we did that, and I got tremendous respect for those 2 guys who pushed everything they had to get back and really, to be honest with you, to give us an opportunity to be in the national championship. They both came back and really pushed hard. So they're tremendous leaders. Team has nothing but respect for them, and I'll never forget what they gave to this program.
Chip Towers, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. This is for Coach Smart. It seemed like 2 plays that really sort of captured momentum for you guys. Is the tackle by Cash Jones, they turn it over on and Cole Spear. You're talking about guys who don't normally get in the box score, and then the play with Lab McConkey. He was laughing about it in the locker room that he really wanted to throw it. He hated that he didn't get a chance to throw it. But can you just comment on those plays and their effect in the game?
Yeah, I forget what the score was when the Lab one happened. I mean, the fumble and the kickoff happened. I guess it was 14-3 or 21-3. I don't know when that happened. That was a huge momentum swing. Cash, man, all Cash does is give effort. And we do special teams all the time, and you're like, how does that guy beat some 5-star down the field? Because he wants to. He cares. It's important to him. He's a tremendous toughness, and it shows on special teams. Cole Spears the same way. Cole Spears is one of our best special teams player, and for Cash to knock the ball off of him and Cole to recover it, and those kids were excited as hell. And so were we because of what they did. And then we've had that play in all year with Ladd. We just never had a chance to call it. And I thought it was a great time to call it for Coach Bobo. They covered it, and it becomes improvisation if he gets covered. And they got covered, and so Ladd turned the improv into a touchdown, and that's what good players, they make your coaches right. And Ladd made a tremendous play there.
Owen Warden, the Red and Black. Guys, you got to see Kendall, Kamari, you got to see so many younger players, whether Roderick or even Daniel Smith on the other side. And then, Coach, obviously also getting to see guys like Michael and Jalen Walker make plays and lead the team in tackles. What was it like to see, some of your younger teammates play so well towards the beginning and end of the game? And then, Coach, what was it like to see some of the guys that you're also going to have come back play at such a high level? I know this was something you were talking about being excited for coming into this game.
I can think back all the way to the first game of the season, and I remember in warm-ups, I looked at Andrew and Rod, and I told them, I believe in y'all, because I knew it was a game that they were going to get in, and I told them, I believe in y'all. I know, y'all are young, so your head's probably spinning, getting to the game time, but if nobody's told you, I believe in y'all. And to see them go out today and achieve success, and Rod running through people, AP running through people, man, that just made me so happy. I was jumping more on the sideline for them than I was for my own touchdowns, just because those are my little brothers. I really look at them as little brothers. Like, I took them under my wing because at the end of the day, this is a family, and so to see them achieve success and do the things that they've been working all year for, even when they haven't got all the opportunities. There was games they didn't get in, they were frustrated throughout the week in practice or whatever. They still stuck it and kept fighting all the way through, and I'm just proud of my boys. I'm proud of my little brothers to see them achieve success, and I'm excited to see them achieve success next year.
All right, so there you have it. We'll wrap up the Orange Bowl talk because it was just
beat down at proportions.
But a lot of futures hang in the balance after that. Everyone was waiting to see what Ladd McConkey was going to do, if he was going to stay, if he was going to go. We officially have our answer, as all the kids do. He announced on Instagram that he will declare for the draft. He will be a part of the Senior Bowl as well. How surprised are you that Ladd is deciding to go to the NFL?
A little bit, just for the simple fact that he was hurting most of the year and didn't really have a whole lot of chances to prove himself. And if he does come back, he's probably their number one option, and there's not really a clear-cut number two. So he could have had an even better year next year.
Do you wonder how much NIL money paid into it? If they were maybe not going to give him as much as he would have liked.
I mean, I'm sure it has something
Since that's
to do
how
with it.
everything's going now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure that weighed into his decision, but I don't know how much though. So, hey, good luck in the NFL though.
Did Brock talk after the game at all?
No.
So we're never going to hear from him again.
Nope.
That's crazy.
Nope.
That is crazy.
Yep.
So there's a lot of dogs that have entered the draft. What is wild to me is this team is going to look vastly different next year.
Yeah.
Vastly, vastly different. Outside of Carson Beck, it's a good thing that they can recruit.
Well, yeah, and it helps when you have the number one class in the country again.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going anywhere.
That's for sure. They're going to keep it going. They remain to have a lot of the most players picked in the last 3 drafts.
Yeah.
30
Definitely
something.
the last 2.
Insane. Let's talk about something that's a little more bleak. The Falcons.
Oh, goodness.
So they lose to the Bears. Shout out to Ellie. I know she's happy about
Imagine
that one. They lose to the Bears.
Ellie's having a good week over there.
She
Missouri got a big W against Ohio
Dub
State.
City over there. But the Falcons now, their playoff chances, they have to win on Sunday in New Orleans against the Saints, who just beat the Bucs, mind you. And then On top of that, they need the Bucks to lose to the Panthers.
I don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening either. I do not. And on top of all of that, Taylor Heineke has re-aggravated an ankle injury on his left foot. So we will have to see how that progresses
We're going to see
throughout the week.
Desmond Ridder again.
We could, and that is
swabbed for the third time this season.
that is where things are at. I don't know what to make of it. I guess Arthur Blank was asked to speak after this game against the Bears, and they said no, he is not talking. He remains not talking to the media. How concerned are you about Arthur Smith's future?
I mean,
with
I
Atlanta?
don't see how anyone's not concerned about his future. I don't even know if there's a future to be concerned with. I mean, at this point, but the crazy part is if he wins this next game and Tampa Bay loses, guess what? Boom, you have to keep him, right? Because he won the division. Even with a losing record, you still win the division. You can't fire your coach, can you?
This is what I circle back to. This is year 3 of a 3-year plan.
No progression. Yep.
If they clinch the division and make the playoffs, I don't think he gets fired. But he is on the chopping block from day 1 next season.
Oh, yeah.
However, if they lose or do not make the playoffs, you don't think so?
I don't think he's going to be here. Yeah.
I don't think he is here.
Yeah, there's no way.
We're going to find out a lot about Arthur Blank, I think. At least I will. I haven't been here.
I mean, I
as long,
hope they do well, and I hope they win, and I hope, I hope all is well. But this is the NFL, and it has not been good since 2016 for the Falcons. Well, 2017 was.
It's just ugly football. To be frank, I'm tired of watching crappy football.
Yeah.
That's kind of just where I'm at with it all. You need a quarterback, so I would make sure you're definitely game planning for who you're going to go after.
But it's crazy that you are pretty much a quarterback away, though. You really are.
No.
Honestly, because you're telling me they wouldn't have beaten the who was it? The Vikings with
the Vikings,
Josh Dobbs, the Cardinals,
the
with
Panthers,
Kyler Murray's come
probably.
back, the Panthers. There's 3 games right there.
That's 3 games.
Guys,
it's already a
guys,
totally different season.
What is that? 10-6.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 10-6 is easily going to win the division.
We had this discussion while you guys were down in Florida. Russell Wilson probably being shipped away from the Broncos. Would you go get Russell Wilson?
Not for the money, no. Not for the money and his age, honestly, no. I wouldn't.
So, would you believe that his numbers are worse overall than Matt Ryan's numbers the last year he was with the Falcons?
Yeah, I would definitely believe that. They had a horrendous start to the year. Horrendous.
So, the people who maybe think we should go get Russell Wilson, would you go get Justin Fields?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I think you should have gotten Lamar Jackson when you had the chance.
Well, but yes, of course, that would have been great, but
I would also say...
But then they wouldn't have had all the money to get all the other signings that they had past, knowing that they were going to stick with Desmond Ridder, so it's kind of...
But I also think if you get Justin Fields, you're looking for a new quarterback in 2 years anyway.
Maybe. Maybe not. But I know one thing. You're definitely not going to have Desmond Ridder next year.
Heck no. Heck
no.
No. You can't do it again.
You might have Heineke as a backup, but you're not going to have Ridder.
Yeah, I don't see him on this roster. Yeah. Also, some big news that landed over the weekend. The Hawks will return to Peachtree TV for their broadcast. Those games will be every Friday except one of the Fridays. We can take a little peek here at the schedule.
So many of these players that were playing tonight, their last game.
Hey, Kirby, what's going on?
There we go.
Hey.
Not Kirby. We don't want to see Kirby.
We see so much of Kirby.
So 10 games will broadcast on Peachtree TV. The first 2, which is that January 12th against the Pacers and January 19th against Miami, will also be on Atlanta News First. So you can get those games free over TV. Definitely cool and want to check out. There's a lot of good matchups within that, whether it's the Mavs and 76ers. But yeah, the Hawks also snapping a 4-game skid last night, beating the Wizards. Trae Young popping off. Jalen Johnson had a career high as well. He had 23, and he was dunking on everyone. It was absolutely wild. So love to see them keep building that chemistry because they definitely need it right now. A lot of injuries have plagued the Hawks a little bit. So they need to get healthy and see what they can really make out of that team before we probably give any real opinions. I do want to finish on what's on your mind, but it's not what's on your mind. Lee, it is what are your New Year's resolutions?
Ooh.
Because we know Brett doesn't believe in them.
I don't have any right now. I'm not as salty as Brett is about them, but I also don't.
Brett, would you like to come in and give just a sentence about why you don't believe in New Year's resolutions?
Because you're an adult and you don't need to have a specific
Keep it PG, please.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, let me focus in and keep it
Thank
PG.
you.
Yeah. I just think if you want to change something about yourself, just do it. Why do you need an arbitrary date? Just be an adult and do it when you want to do it instead of waiting all year until January 1st. Do it on October 2nd or April 3rd or whatever. But you guys talk about your little resolutions.
Off the box.
I don't have a resolution
Not
per
even
se.
one you haven't even thought about.
I just want to stick to the normal exercise routine and eat better, which is I would assume most people's daily goal.
We all wish we could eat better.
That's about it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
no, not signing up for a gym membership. Not like.
You know what mine is? Mine's really simple, but I guess it's kind of sad. Drink more water.
Well,
I buy these
You'd be surprised.
massive liter of waters, and I bring them into work, and I'm going to drink all of them, and I
just
sit
sits
it on
there.
my desk.
It just sits there.
And then all of a sudden, 11:30's wrapped up. I'm at my desk, and it has not even, the top hasn't even been open.
I'll tell you what I want. I want better sleep. That's
okay.
That's what I want.
Okay. Well,
However,
I think
I
you'll
gotta
definitely
get that.
You'll get that for the first couple months. I feel like
I
once
hope.
football starts, you
I
don't
hope.
get as much sleep.
No, for sure.
Okay, last question, and then we'll get out of here. What is the most overrated New Year's resolution?
Overrated New Year's resolution. Oof.
I will say this, I don't think it's a resolution, but I think eating the greens and black-eyed peas and grapes and everything on New Year's Eve leading up to the countdown, I think that's dumb. I don't think eating grapes is going to bring me love. I don't think
Oh my gosh, okay.
eating black-eyed peas
Bah
is going
humbug
to
over here. All right.
It's going to bring me, what is it, like good fortune?
So yeah, I hate to have fun too. I'm sorry.
No, what is fun about that? Like, I'd rather eat a cupcake
I don't know.
for, I don't know.
See, here's the thing. Brett was right. We're adults, and you can do whatever you want to, pretty much. If you don't want to celebrate with some black-eyed peas, guess what?
You know how I
Don't eat black-eyed
celebrated?
peas.
I stayed home on my couch with great Chinese food and watched Harry Potter.
Nice. Oh, okay. All right, that was a different one.
A good
Harry
night
Potter.
in, and I loved it.
Well, I was with some neighbors out in Chamblee, and we had a fire going, and there were free fireworks essentially on both sides of our houses. So it was a pretty nice little time.
We had a nice little time.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll be back at it tomorrow with Sports Tonight, not talking about New Year's resolutions.
Hey, I'll tell you though, who's not having a good time right now is Alabama, and they need to get their stuff together.
We'll know who's in the national championship game this time tomorrow.
I know, that's crazy.
And then we can talk about that. Hopefully it's Alabama, otherwise you're going to be a little salty.
A lot of salty.
A lot of salty. That does it for this edition of Sports Tonight. For Lee Smith, I'm Bailey Burmaster. Make sure you guys join us out for the rest of the week.
Bye.